Hi, so this is my first time telling a story in English. Sorry if I'm babbling some words. It's a story I wrote for school, and I've decided to translate it in English and see what it does. Okay, it's called The Devil's Claw. One Sunday morning, Mrs. Como decided to pick some blueberries. She crosses the fence where the blueberries seem bigger and more abundant. Madame Terrien immediately leaves her house. "What are you doing here?" "Well, I came to pick blueberries." "But they're not yours, these blueberries." "They're mine as much as yours. They are wild blueberries. The Creator put them there." "Hey, that's theft! You're a damn thief!" They start shouting names. Then Mrs. Como ends the argument by shouting, "Go to hell!" Then appears a frightful creature who is neither man nor beast. "Did you call me, ladies?" The two women freeze in fear and can't get any sound out of their mouths. "Then, ladies, who brought me here?" Mrs. Terrien shouts, "Look at Mrs. Como! Look at what you have done! What kind of monstrosity is this thing?" Mrs. Como looks at the creature and says, "What do you want?" "I presume that it is you who called me." He takes the form of a very elegant man, dressed all in red. "Then, what can I do for you today, my dear?" Strangely, the two women are no longer afraid of the creature, who took human form. It is as if their memories had forgotten everything the last few minutes. Mrs. Como answers to the handsome man. "I'm very sorry that you heard this argument between Mrs. Como and Mrs. Terrien and me. I just wanted to pick blueberries, but this harpy started to call me a thief." The man answers, "My dear lady, what if I told you I can solve your problem?" He had a smile so charming that she couldn't refuse. "What are you offering?" "If I told you I can make you a garden so big, full of blueberries that you could even sell them to your entire village." Madame Como is so surprised that she agrees without asking any questions. The man gives her a simple little seed of a bright blue. "Plant this seed well, and in just 30 days you will have a garden so large, full with blueberries, that you will not have any more worries for the rest of your days." Mrs. Terrien approaches the man and asks him, "Could I have one too?" The man looks at her with a passion in his eyes. "Oh, I have something much more special for you, my dear." He takes her by the hand and brings her into the forest. The next day, the man returns to see Mrs. Como and brings her a special mixture in a big barrel. He says, "Water the seed with this mixture every day for 30 days. Then you will see your garden grow in the blink of an eye." 30 days passed. Mrs. Como's garden had filled with wonderful blueberries as big as cherries. She takes her basket and begins to pick everything. A few hours later, she takes some boxes and asks her children to come help her sell them in the village. The villagers were so surprised at these huge blueberries that almost everyone bought some. A few days later, the village developed a kind of strange disease. Small dots began to grow on each person who had eaten these famous blueberries. They almost looked like blueberries growing on them. Even the village doctor didn't know what to do. In the distance, we see the man in red return to his monstrous form and say, "It seems that my garden has grown well." And this concludes my short story I did as a project for school. And, well, if people like it, I'll maybe try to do a bigger, better version of it.